Hi, my name is Erica Sharp. Welcome to my instructional screencast for the MySchoolNotebook.com. So, MySchoolNotebook.com is a digital notebook that students can use in lieu of having to carry around large notebooks as we've all been known to do. So, it's a note taking platform and it is a website and an app. So, if the teacher or parents are worried about their kids being online during school time, you can actually use the app for Apple and Android devices, which allow the student to do the work offline, and then once they come back online, they can go to this right here, the synchronization, and they can sync their offline notebooks to the online account. I've already logged in and I logged in with Facebook. But if you don't want your students, or if the student doesn't want to attach this to their Facebook account, they can create an account on myschoolnotebook.com. So I have a notebook here, and this is for the 2016-2017 school year. And every school year, you'll be able to have this option right here, where it'll have the date there. If I needed to add a new notebook, it is very simple. I just click on it, put the title, the teacher's name, and then save it. But I have a notebook going here, so I am going to go ahead and open this notebook. And within this notebook, what I can do is I can go ahead and rename and add a topic. And this is great for if you teach a class. Let's say you're in an English class and one week you're doing nouns and the one another week you're doing verbs. You can add your topics here. So I'm going to say that this topic is called screencast, and I'm going to go ahead and save that. Within my topics, I can add different lessons and date these lessons. Now, when you go ahead and add the lesson on the day that you're doing, it's going to default to that day's date. But if you need to change the date, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to 125:17 and save it. And the lesson was saved today, but I'm saying this is the lesson for 125:17. And you can go in here and start to type. You'll see up here has some very basic word processing functions. You can do bullets, arrows, change the paragraph, headings, and things like that. Also, change the fonts. But if you go right here, this is a great way to bring in a student's creativity by clicking on this little pencil icon. This allows the student and is to bring in handwritten notes or handwritten pictures or whatever they feel they need to do something creative to get the information that they need. I can turn this into graph paper. If I want to do some very rudimentary mind mapping type things, there are three options for shapes here. You can do a selection if you want to move the stuff around on the page. And it's very rudimentary. It's not as robust as even a Microsoft Paint, but it does allow the student to kind of get into their creative mode. Instead of just going up there typing, they can come out here if the teacher is making a point and they really need to maybe draw that out and connect the points. They can do that with this right here. And then maybe add a line. And so this is not as robust as, like I said, a Microsoft Paint or, obviously not Visio, but they obviously can go ahead and do a few things in here and draw it and make it where it is applicable to the way they learn. So you can save this and it will be within, and save it and close, it will be within your notes. Another thing that is great for this particular notebook is if your teacher is giving you supplemental information and you want to be able to have that just at the click of a button instead of having to go out and to another program. You can upload a file here, and you just click on the upload and choose a file, and this file will be over here on your toolbar, and you can click download and download the file. Instead of having to go out to Word, it's just right there for you. Another thing is you export to PDF. So if you want to have this in a PDF form, if maybe you're doing notes that you're going to present in a presentation and you want it to look uh, pretty professional. You can export it to PDF. Another great thing that allows for collaboration between students, and as we know, ISTE collaboration is very important, is there is a sharing option. The sharing option allows the students to share their notes with other students. Now, this is not to be where one student is doing all the work. Notes are usually a very personal thing unless it's a emergency and a student is out and they need to go ahead and get some notes from another student. But this allows collaboration in that sometimes we may pick up things, ideas, understand something differently than somebody else. And this allows the students to look at each other's notes and maybe even brainstorm on a project or understand, okay, wait a minute, you saw it this way. I didn't really see it this way, but that's a great way for me to see it. So that allows you to go into the sharing option and you can type in somebody's email address or name if they're already on the platform and share your notes with them. Also, this does allow, and this may be something that a teacher would be interested for in a higher class grade, it does allow the students to publish to Google. So, based on the name of the notebook, this can be searchable in Google, which is a great thing. Another thing for getting out there and collaborating with other people. All in all, I think that there is a few things that I would love to see change on this program, a little bit more robust on the tools here, and also instead of just having the files uploaded, an option to integrate those files into the actual notes would be great. But it's a great start. I would like a little bit more options here as far as changing the fonts, the colors of the more a little bit more word processing options. But the fact that it does allow creativity and collaboration and really a student to own their own schoolwork by having their notes the way they needed to have them organized, and then readily available on an offline app or a online platform. I think it really meets a lot of the standards. And I'm sure as time goes on, they will probably go ahead and add some more features. But that is my screencast for my school notebook.com.